Okay.
So we're going? All right. Today is September 1st, 2018. I'm in here with my mother, and she's visiting us from Texas, and we don't see her enough. And Tyler's been kind enough. Is it running okay?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Tyler's here. He's our professional photographer and editor and cameraman. And I asked him if we could just spend some time with Mom and just talk with her so we can record this for us and for our kids and our grandkids and our great-grandkids and our great-great-grandkids. And so, as you know, she made that wonderful family history of herself. And it's amazing what a blessing that is to us to be able to. I love going back and looking at what she did. And as you get older, like I think at this time in your life, you probably couldn't have done that.
No.
Because you don't remember things.
No, that's right.
But that's why it's so important to capture that for people that, come after to know who your ancestors were. So I'm going to we don't have a lot of time on this because the battery's low, but Tyler's going to come back Monday, which is Labor Day, and we're going to do some more. But Mom, I just want to say I love you, and I want to just give you an opportunity maybe to tell us what you're doing out here, visiting.
Well, I'm sorry to be so far away from you. I just, miss you so much, and it's kind of hard to get together because we live so far apart from each other. But it's so great to see your kids and grandkids and the new granddaughter.
That's Summer. We went to her second birthday. Party last week.
We had a wonderful time there and got to see all the children. Summer and
there was Carter and the oldest Kennedy. And they had a lot of cousins there, and so poor Mom, there's all these kids. He goes, now which one's my great grandkids, and because it was hard. It was hard for me to pull them out because they're all about the same age, all had blonde hair. And so I'd have to say, well, there's Carter. Okay, there's Carter. And then, oh, there's Kennedy. And Kennedy go flying by. One of the things we did do is we got a 4-generation picture with everyone.
Yes.
So we have that where Mom was sitting to the right, I was sitting next to her, Jeremy was sitting, and then each of their 3 children, one by one, took a turn. So that we have that 4-generation record.
Yeah.
So that turned out good.
That was so great to see them. They're very good. They're good children, and they're nice to be with. And Jeremy has a real nice home there, and they're doing well. And I saw Paul's area where his new house is going to be built, so we're looking forward to having that all taken care of. And
just a hole in the ground right now.
yeah, but it's going to be good. It's close to the dog park.
Yeah, we got 2 dogs.
We've got 2 dogs.
One's an old dog, and the other one's just a whippersnapper.
Yeah. So it's just been good to be here and see some friends as well but especially family. I love family. I love Paul and Tyler and Jacob and Jeremy. I haven't seen
Austin.
Austin's
yet. Been not here. We wish you could come, Austin.
Yeah.
We miss Austin. Bubba.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we can still get him here before you go.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, that'd be nice. And I've been treated very nice here. We have a nice place to stay, and everybody's been so good to me. And I just wish we were all closer and could have holidays together. And anyway, it's good to see Jacob too. I hadn't seen him for a while. And Ashley's girls are really nice to be around.
You got to spend time with Deanne.
And I got to spend time with
You got to
Deanne.
see your friend Hildred.
Hildred and Kathy Young. I saw Kathy. We all had
We saw him at church, and then you went out the
Yeah.
next day for lunch.
We went for lunch, and it was really good to see them. I'd like to spend more time with them. Catch up on the news.
Well, we're going to, what I thought we would do when Tyler comes back Monday is record your life experiences as you recall them. You know, as a little girl and what it was like to grow up during the Depression, and you knowing your grandparents and what they were like, your Grandpa Verberg and Grandpa Anderson and Grandma Anderson and Grandma Verberg, and what it was like to grow up in the Verberg's home on Kildare Avenue by Schurz High School. Her parents went to Schurz High School off of Milwaukee in Illinois, in Chicago, and she went to Schurz High School, and so they had that connection. See, back then people stayed in one place. That's one reason it's harder today. We're so transit. And we're in Utah, and you know, Kim and Pat and Karen are in Texas, and so it's not, people just kind of move and go all over the place now. Back then, when she was growing up, you know, people stayed where they were.
Oh, it was so nice. I had aunts and uncles and some couple of cousins, and when I was in college at 20 years old, I got a brother who was born, Jim, and so I was able to spend some time with him when I came home for vacations.
20 years apart.
Yes.
And I remember years later, when Jim was, you know, he's 5 years older than me, and Grandma, my mother's mother, and Jim, and the three of them were talking, and my mother said to Jim, well, obviously you were a surprise. And my grandmother said to my mom, what makes you think you weren't? So you were born in 1931, and he was born in 1951.
That's right. That's right. And I saw him when I got home from co-college. And
What was your reaction when, I bet you must have been shocked when your mom said she was pregnant.
I can't remember. I can't remember.
Usually
now, but
happens when you go
yeah.
in shock. You forget what happened.
That's
It's
true.
like an accident.
And when he was born, she called me, and I was having dinner in the cafeteria at Co. And I came back, and they sang congratulations, because they knew that I had gone out to hear about my new sibling
College.
in college.
Nobody in between.
No, nobody
Oh,
in
well,
between.
why not?
No.
And then in 1968 or 69, we were all up in Eagle River, Wisconsin. And I was 13 or 14. Jim was probably about 18 or so. I can't remember. And we're at the lake there, and my grandparents were just walking hand in hand along the side of the lake there. And Bill Allen, who was a boyhood friend, said, "Oh, they're going off to do what? Make another Jimmy.
Make another Jimmy.
Every 20 years."
Yeah.
Man, just joking, of course. Your parents
Yeah.
were there, what, in their 70s or 60s back then. They were in their
Yeah.
60s. So, good memories.
Yeah. Yeah. Memories of things you never expected to have memories for.
Well, why not? You remember probably your growing up years better than you do yesterday, don't you?
Oh, yeah. I can remember. Yeah, I can remember a lot of things on Kildare Avenue. I had my friend Miriam there, and Burl, and Margie Johnson, and those were my friends. And we walked to school, which was 3 blocks away. We walked to school in the morning and came home at lunch, and then walked back to school.
What was the name of your school?
Irving Park Elementary School.
That would go out to what year?
Eighth grade.
8th grade.
He graduated from grammar school in 8th grade.
So you had from 1st grade all the way to 8th grade in one school.
That's right.
Wow. That was a pretty different diversity in the size of those kids.
That's right.
Whew.
And
Then you went to a 4-year high school.
a 4-year high school, that was right down the street from me. And
Literally, I mean, you could see this. It was just the whole.
yeah.
It was the wall
right
down
Right.
there. Did you you spent all 4 years there then at Schurz. So you grew up in that house that your dad grew up in.
That's right. I did. Grew up in that house.
Same house.
Same house as my dad and my aunt and my uncle.
It's back in the Depression times when
Yeah.
people had a hard time making money, so they lived together more.
Yeah.
Kind of like they do now.
Yeah. That's true.
Thanks you, Mr. Obama, for destroying the economy.
That's right. Now we've got a president who's done wonders for the economy and is a powerfully active, astute person that has the economy well, and he's very powerful for in the foreign policies area. Not nearly as weak and as the one before him, Obama, who just apologized for the country. And
Well, you go back, you remember Roosevelt, don't
yes,
you?
I remember Roosevelt. I remember my grandmother Verberg, every time his name was mentioned, she would say, "Oh, that devil."
So she was a Republican.
Yeah,
back then.
yeah, it was
Well, that was Verberg.
Verberg.
Did you know the political affiliation of the Andersons? Did they ever speak anything about politics?
Well, they were Republican too.
But they weren't as vocal.
No, they weren't as vocal. They weren't. My grandmother had passion for,
Well,
for politics.
How about? I know your grandfather Peter. Was he vocal at all about politics?
No, he was very religious. He was a very good example. He would pray over our meals every evening, and he was very active in the Sunday school at the Methodist Church, and he worked with the people who were in the war. They kept in contact with the people who were serving in the Second World War, and he did that too. He was
he was born in the 1870s, right?
Right.
If 78, 79, do you remember what year?
No, I'd have to look that up.
But the later 1870s.
Yeah, he was born in the Netherlands.
And came over here. How old was he when he came over?
I don't
Was he
remember.
Like 16 or something.
Yeah, I don't remember, but
The Netherlands is Holland, right?
that's Holland.
And so a lot of them settled in Holland, Michigan, and that's
That's
probably
right.
why it was called Holland, Michigan.
That's right.
And some settled in the Chicago area.
Well, yeah, there's relatives that are settled in Holland, Michigan, but the older boys moved to Chicago, where they could get jobs.
The
And
city.
that's why my grandfather was in Chicago too.
Okay.
And
Now his wife, which one of your grandmothers was actually at the Chicago World's Fair in 1893? One of them was there.
I don't remember.
Okay. It was probably, well, with Grandma Anderson.
I don't know.
One of your grandmothers, I remember you telling me,
They were at the World's Fair.
she was 12 years old or a young girl, but she was there at the World's Fair in Chicago. And I think one of your relatives saw the on Michigan Avenue when Lincoln's body came through at the funeral procession. Do you remember which one of your relatives saw that?
No, I don't remember.